Ignore these next few minutes and you might soon face your worst nightmare. A sudden fall down your own stairs, a humiliating collapse in public, or waking up in a hospital bed, wondering why your legs betrayed you. You think that slight twinge in your thighs is harmless. Think again. That seemingly minor discomfort can swiftly spiral into a catastrophic weakness, leaving you helpless, terrified, and dependent on strangers in the emergency room. Thousands have shrugged off these subtle signs only to be jolted into harsh reality when a simple stumble turns into a bone-shattering injury, stealing months or even years from their lives. Imagine the horror of feeling your legs suddenly buckle beneath you or noticing your ankles trembling uncontrollably. What if that tremble isn't just age? What if it's your body's desperate signal warning of an invisible nutrient deficiency, making your bones brittle and your muscles dangerously weak? In today's relentless pace, even a split-second delay in your reflexes can make everyday tasks like driving your car or crossing a busy street a deadly gamble. We assume our bodies will remain strong, blindly ignoring the critical nutrients our bones, muscles, and nerves desperately need. Neglect this warning and you're setting yourself up for a devastating fall, a fractured hip, or even the crushing blow of a sudden stroke. Now picture a beloved family member, a brother, a cherished uncle, or even yourself one day, suddenly unable to rise from the couch without help. Yesterday they climbed stairs effortlessly. Today they're imprisoned by their own frailty. Tragically, this silent deterioration happens every day to millions of people, all because of hidden nutrient gaps that quietly sabotage our strength as we age. By the time most notice the alarming decline, it's often already too late, the damage permanent, the independence gone forever. This urgent message is your final warning. Safeguard your strength. Preserve your dignity and protect your life, or risk losing it all. To your transition, a brief true or composite clinical story. Several years ago, I interviewed a 73-year-old retired high school coach, let's call him Mr. Holton, who prided himself on an active lifestyle. He had spent decades guiding young athletes through conditioning drills and pep talks. Yet in his late 60s, he noticed subtle changes, mild cramps that didn't go away, sporadic knee pains, and an occasional tremor when he tried to climb stairs. He dismissed them as standard aging figuring. Nothing serious, I'll shake it off. By the time he turned 70, he had to use the banister to pull himself upstairs. One slip during a family gathering led to a broken ankle and 2 months of near immobility. Only then did he learn that certain vitamins were missing from his diet, and by neglecting them, he'd effectively set the stage for a catastrophic decline. I wish I'd known earlier, he told me. I just never realized a couple of simple nutrients could have saved me so much trouble. Later in this video, I'll share another account, this time of a 68-year-old bakery owner who, after a frightening moment at her shop, realized her legs might fail her at any moment. Her personal journey underlines how ignoring vitamin deficiencies can lead to crippling nerve and muscle issues culminating in abrupt health crises. You'll see why addressing these deficits is not just about feeling a little stronger, it can literally protect your heart and brain. Because if your circulation is compromised, that can elevate the risk of stroke, a dreaded complication no one wants to face. Science section, the core, vitamins and minerals. What follows is a deep dive into 7 critical players. These vitamins and minerals are pillars of musculoskeletal strength, nerve conduction, and reliable circulation. Each one, vitamin D, calcium, vitamin B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin B6 plays a specific, scientifically grounded role in keeping you upright and stable. Disregarding any one factor can trigger a chain reaction. Your bones weaken your muscles, tire out, your reflexes dull, and your mobility wanes. Experts from Harvard, Th. Chan School of Public Health 2021 official website remind us that a balanced intake of these nutrients is pivotal to long-term wellness, yet deficiencies are rampant worldwide. Before outlining the synergy of these nutrients, I must stress you should never discontinue prescribed treatments or override the advice of your healthcare professional. Always consult your physician before making any drastic changes to your supplement regimen. The concepts we're covering are evidence-based, but must be tailored to your unique medical profile, especially if you already have conditions like high blood pressure or kidney disease. Let's step through these essential nutrients one by one, shining a bright light on the genuine science behind them. All the while, remember the bigger picture. Your day-to-day choices can either buttress your future autonomy or squander it. That's how critical these vitamins are. Tikurni. Vitamin D, the backbone of mobility. Paragraph 1. It's no surprise that vitamin D shows up first on our list. When your body doesn't get enough of this fat-soluble nutrient, the ramifications can be stark, fragile bones, shrinking muscle mass, and a creeping sense of imbalance that can flip your world upside down if you slip. The World Health Organization, WHO 2018 Global Nutrition Guidelines, states that older adults are particularly prone to low vitamin D levels due to diminished skin synthesis and limited outdoor activity. This deficiency doesn't just undercut your skeleton. It also saps your strength and heightens the likelihood of falls. Paragraph 2. You might wonder why a slight shortage of a single vitamin can unleash so much havoc. Vitamin D helps your gut absorb calcium, directing minerals to the places they're needed. Without it, your body diverts those minerals elsewhere or doesn't use them effectively, leaving your bones starved. Research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, 2017, indicated that low vitamin D correlates with heightened risk of muscle weakness and slower reflex responses. In other words, your muscles can't fire properly. Paragraph 3. Let's revisit Mr. Holton's story for a second. He discovered he had severe vitamin D deficiency, which left him teetering on the edge of immobility. Once he consulted his physician, he started a targeted supplementation plan, along with short strategic outdoor walks to boost natural vitamin D synthesis. Within months, his bone scans revealed modest improvements, and best of all, he felt sure on his feet. But that recovery took time he could have saved if he'd tackled the issue years earlier. Paragraph 4. Many people assume they can stock up on vitamin D from the sun alone. Unfortunately, as you age, your skin's ability to transform sunlight into vitamin D diminishes. Furthermore, fear of sun damage prompts many seniors to stay indoors, compounding the deficiency. Even worse, if you do venture outside, sunblock can inhibit production of this crucial vitamin. There's a delicate balance between safeguarding your skin and ensuring your body can generate what it needs. Paragraph 5. What about dietary sources? Fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, egg yolks, fortified cereals, and certain mushrooms provide some vitamin D, but it's often not enough. That's where supplementation steps in. Dr. Michael Greger, MD, 2019 Public Nutrition lecture notes that while diet can supply a base-level daily supplementation in older adults is frequently necessary, particularly if they show signs of deficiency. Paragraph 6. The recommended daily intake for vitamin D can vary. Many experts suggest 800 to 1,000 IU per day for older adults. Still, individuals who test extremely low might require higher doses, at least initially, under strict medical guidance. Regular blood tests will reveal if you are in the sweet spot. Overdoing it can lead to toxicity, but that's less common and usually occurs when people ignore dosing guidelines. Always consult your physician for customized advice. Paragraph 7. Why does vitamin D impact your legs so directly? In simplest terms, it's because well-fortified bones and properly functioning muscle fibers help you stand, walk, and respond to sudden stumbles. Fast-twitch muscle fibers rely on robust neuromuscular signals that this vitamin helps facilitate. Imagine running toward a doorway. If your muscle fibers react just half a second too late, you may trip or crash into the doorframe. That's the real-world difference adequate vitamin D can make. Paragraph 8. Additionally, vitamin D influences inflammation. Chronic low-level inflammation in muscle tissues can worsen aches, stiffness, and cramps. Studies in older populations point to improved lower limb function when vitamin D levels are optimized. Combined with the right exercise routine, this nutrient sets the stage for stable movement, so you're less likely to experience that dreaded "I'm about to fall" moment. Paragraph 9. Picture your routine. You wake up, you move around your house, maybe you go for a short walk or run errands. Now imagine waking up tomorrow with 20% less bone density and 30% less muscle strength. You'd feel wobbly, uncertain, and downright frightened by a single misstep. That's the future you risk if you neglect your vitamin D supply. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow burn that eventually explodes into a crisis. Paragraph 10. Here's the takeaway: you can shield yourself from those horrors by taking simple steps. Literally. Make daily walks in the early morning or late afternoon a habit, exposing your arms and legs sensibly to sunlight. Incorporate fish-fortified items and egg yolks into your diet. If needed, add a vitamin D supplement to your routine. Check your levels periodically through blood tests and keep your physician in the loop. Think of it as an insurance policy on your mobility and a safeguard against the dreaded outcomes like a fall-induced fracture or circulatory issues that might even predispose you to a stroke. Carnegie, calcium more than just bones. Paragraph 1. Ask almost anyone about calcium, and they'll mention strong bones. But this mineral is about much more than bone density. It's a linchpin for muscle contractions, from the slight flex in your calf when you tiptoe across a room to the robust power in your thighs that helps you rise from a chair. Without adequate calcium, your muscles can't contract efficiently, leading to spasms, cramping, and an overall dip in strength. Paragraph 2. In older adults, diminishing bone mass is a pressing concern. You're likely aware of how fragile bones can become if deprived of calcium over time. Now tack on the possibility of a moderate deficiency, and you might be setting yourself up for a cascade of microfractures or stress fractures in your legs. According to research published in Osteoporosis International 2016, such breaks can reduce mobility dramatically and increase the likelihood of permanent joint issues. Paragraph 3. However, the danger isn't just about fractures. Low calcium can weaken your muscular response to sudden changes in balance. If you trip, can your muscles react quickly enough to catch you? A deficiency might mean the difference between regaining composure or slamming into the pavement. Picture it: a quick misstep on a wet sidewalk, and next thing you know, you're nursing a broken hip, something that can take months, if not years, to recover from. Paragraph 4. So where to get this key mineral? Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are classic sources, but many plants also offer plenty of calcium. Kale collard, greens, bok choy, broccoli, and certain beans. For those who dislike dairy or have intolerances, these veggies can keep your calcium stores healthy. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health emphasizes variety, stating in a 2020 nutrition guideline that diverse foods help ensure you get an array of nutrients that complement calcium absorption. Paragraph 5. Another gem is fortification. Calcium-fortified plant-based milks, cereals, and even some fruit juices can fill in the gaps if your regular diet falls short. Aim for around 1,000 tolerant to 1,200 milliliters of calcium daily, typically recommended for older adults. Yet, as always, you need balance. Overloading on calcium, particularly from supplements, can cause kidney stones or vascular deposits, which is not the outcome you want. Always consult your physician before adding high-dose supplements. Paragraph 6. Calcium works hand in hand with vitamin D. Think of them as a pair of orchestrators that keep your bones resilient and your muscles ready for action. Vitamin D ushers calcium where it's needed. If D is lacking, calcium may as well be floating around your bloodstream without a roadmap, unable to do its most critical jobs. That's why we covered vitamin D first. You can't discuss strong bones and powerful legs without linking the two. Paragraph 7. Beyond muscle contractions, calcium also contributes to nerve signaling. It helps relay messages throughout the nervous system, telling your muscles exactly when and how to move. In older people, nerve signal speed can slow naturally, but a calcium shortfall can worsen the decline. This can manifest as slower reaction times and that dreaded sense of your legs not getting the memo in time. That's a hazard if you need to navigate tricky surfaces or avoid an unexpected obstacle. Paragraph 8. A major advantage of adequate calcium is resilience. Your leg bones, especially the femur and tibia, endure immense stress every day. Even a small deficiency can accelerate microdamage. Over time, these microdamages accumulate, increasing your risk of stress fractures. Picture a hairline crack in your femur. It might not break outright, but it can make each step painful and keep you housebound, sowing seeds for muscle atrophy that creeps in while you recuperate. Paragraph 9. Case in point. Miss Davidson, a 65-year-old teacher who overcame a mild stroke but struggled with reduced mobility, her orthopedic specialist found her calcium levels to be borderline deficient. Despite a diligent rehab routine, she wasn't regaining her normal stride. Incorporating a calcium supplement with her physician's approval alongside vitamin D drastically hastened her return to mobility. Within weeks, her physical therapist noticed improved gait stability, enabling Miss Davidson to walk confidently without fear of another fall. Paragraph 10. So do your daily habits measure up? If you find yourself skimping on calcium-rich foods or you're uncertain about your levels, a basic blood test or a bone density scan, DEXA can clarify your status. Enrich your diet with leafy greens, dairy, if tolerated, and calcium-fortified options. And never forget walking, light jogging, or other weight-bearing exercises boost bone remodeling, ensuring your calcium is actually put to use. That synergy between diet and activity is crucial. Skip it and you risk letting your calcium go to waste, putting yourself at risk of fractures, prolonged convalescence, or worse. True endpoints. Vitamin B12, the nerve and muscle conduit, paragraph 1. Vitamin B12, sometimes overlooked in discussions about leg health, is a linchpin for maintaining robust neuromuscular function. It ensures nerve signals travel swiftly and correctly from your spinal cord to your leg muscles. If these messages get scrambled or delayed, you might feel an odd heaviness or tingling in your lower limbs, often the earliest sign of trouble brewing under the surface. Paragraph 2. Many older adults unknowingly deal with B12 deficiency. Why is it so common? One culprit is reduced stomach acid production. As you age, your gastrointestinal system becomes less adept at extracting B12 from food. Certain medications like antacids or those for acid reflux can hamper absorption too. Over time, even a marginal shortfall can disrupt nerve function and sap muscle control. Paragraph 3. Without B12, you might notice your feet fall asleep more often, or you may struggle with foot drop, a situation where the front part of your foot drags. These subtle cues often go unaddressed until a more serious calamity strikes, such as frequent stumbles or difficulty climbing stairs. Research in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society 2019 underscores that older adults with borderline B12 levels face more frequent falls than those with healthy levels. Paragraph 4. Let's not forget the mental toll. B12 deficiency can also affect cognitive function. If your concentration falters, it can undermine your ability to react effectively, especially in sudden balance challenges like catching yourself if you misjudge the height of a step. By the same token, having stable vitamin B12 levels has been correlated with sharper reflexes and steadier mood, both crucial for safe movement. Paragraph 5, you might ask, where can I get this vital B12 animal products? Meat, fish, dairy, and eggs are the traditional top sources. Vegetarians or vegans often rely on fortified cereals or plant-based milks. Supplements are also extremely effective. Dr. Michael Greger, 2015, How Not to Die, points out that B12 is one of the safest vitamins to supplement as excess amounts are excreted in the urine rather than stored. That means the risk of toxicity is minimal. Paragraph 6. Not all forms of B12 supplements are equal, though. Some individuals fare better with sublingual or even injectable forms, especially if they have significant absorption issues. The key is to get tested if you suspect a deficiency. A standard blood test can reveal whether your levels meet the threshold. Working with your physician, you can find a dosage plan that suits your lifestyle and resolves any shortfall. Paragraph 7, picture a 68-year-old bakery owner, Miss Randall. Each morning she pulled fresh loaves from the oven, lugging trays back and forth. Over time, she felt unusual leg tingles. One early frantic morning at the bakery, she stumbled near the oven door. Fortunately, she caught herself before a severe burn. Prompt testing revealed a serious B12 deficiency. After a period of supplementation and dietary adjustments, she noticed a dramatic decrease in the numbness and regained her balanced confidence. She's back to juggling trays without near disasters. Paragraph 8. Remember, maintaining robust nerve function is as pivotal as building strong bones. If the signals from your brain lag by just a split second, your muscles won't contract when they should. This can lead to slow reaction times that place you in real danger of collisions or falls in everyday life, from tripping in the grocery aisle to misjudging a curb. A potent nerve-muscle connection is your built-in security system, and B12 helps keep that system fully operational. Paragraph 9. Additionally, B12 aids the production of red blood cells which deliver oxygen to muscles. If your RBC count dwindles, your muscles become starved for oxygen, leading to premature fatigue. That's why older people with chronic deficiency often complain of heavy legs, feeling exhausted even after short walks. The link between energy and oxygenation might sound basic, but it's fundamental. You can't power your legs effectively if your bloodstream isn't supplying the needed fuel. Paragraph 10 is B12 on your radar, yet it should be. Incorporate lean meats fish or B12 fortified products into your routine. Consider a B12 supplement, particularly if you've had GI issues or long-term antacid use. Consult your physician for tests to clarify your levels. Remember, ignoring this essential vitamin is a gamble, because it's not just your legs that might falter. Your overall resilience and ability to respond quickly to emergencies could be on the line. Magnesium, the quiet stabilizer, paragraph 1. Magnesium often hides in the background, overshadowed by more famous nutrients like calcium and iron. But this mineral is a critical stabilizer for muscle function. It orchestrates the choreography of muscle contraction and relaxation. With insufficient magnesium, muscles may stay involuntarily tense, resulting in cramps or restlessness. If you've ever woken at night to a stabbing calf, cramp magnesium deficiency may be the reason. Paragraph 2. Proton pump inhibitors, diuretics, and certain blood pressure medications can flush magnesium out of your system, leaving you running on fumes. Stress also depletes magnesium levels, something we rarely consider in the hustle of daily life. As we age, we become more susceptible to these factors, which can accelerate a deficiency. Paragraph 3. Muscle cramps aren't the only manifestation. When magnesium levels are low, you might experience unrelenting fatigue, a sense that your legs weigh a ton, or unexplained aches in your calves and thighs. Over time, even short strolls can become draining. If you're cutting your daily walk short because your legs feel done, it might be more than just aging. It could be a sign that your magnesium tank is running dangerously low. Paragraph 4. On a deeper level, magnesium supports nerve transmission. Nerve cells that can't regulate their electrical charges properly can misfire, causing small twitches or even severe spasms. Proper magnesium levels help prevent these misfires. This benefit extends to your reflexes as the mineral contributes to balanced muscle control. Paragraph 5. According to a study in Nutrients 2020, older adults who consume higher amounts of magnesium exhibit stronger grip strength and walk faster than peers with lower intakes. Though grip strength measures upper body function, it's a reliable indicator of overall muscle health, including lower limbs. The researchers concluded that daily magnesium is essential for maintaining baseline functionality as we age. Paragraph 6. Your best dietary sources include leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, legumes, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, and black beans stand out as magnesium powerhouses. But let's be honest, few people consistently eat enough of these foods to reach the recommended daily intake. As Dr. Mark Hyman, 2019 Cleveland Clinic talk, often says, magnesium is the relaxer mineral, but modern diets leave us chronically short of it. Paragraph 7. If dietary fixes aren't enough, magnesium supplements can help. Not all forms absorb equally. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are known for better bioavailability than cheaper options like magnesium oxide. Still, going overboard can cause diarrhea or other digestive issues, so it's best to find a balanced approach and talk to your doctor if you suspect a deficiency. Paragraph 8. When magnesium is at optimal levels, a remarkable shift can occur. Nagging cramps may subside. Restless legs at night might become a thing of the past, and your stride could feel smoother. The difference can be subtle at first, a reduction in how frequently you tense up, or a newfound ease in climbing stairs. But over weeks, the payoff grows. No more abrupt stops mid-walk due to muscle spasms. No more fear of an out-of-nowhere cramp buckling your knee. Paragraph 9. Consider the story of Mr. Wang, a 70-year-old accountant who started waking up nightly with severe calf cramps. He tried stretching, drinking more water, even changing his mattress. Nothing helped. Upon consulting his physician, he learned that his blood pressure medication was depleting magnesium. A moderate supplement quickly reduced his cramps, and within a few weeks he was getting uninterrupted sleep, a game changer for his daytime energy. Paragraph 10. The critical lesson. Sometimes a single deficiency can undo your best efforts to stay mobile. Magnesium might not get the spotlight, but it's indispensable to muscle relaxation and overall endurance. Don't let a hidden shortfall sabotage your mobility. If you're dealing with cramps or unexplained fatigue, talk to your physician about testing your magnesium levels. Adding a portion of spinach or a handful of almonds to your daily routine might be all you need to ward off preventable setbacks. Potassium, the leg cramp shield. Paragraph 1. Potassium is central to balance fluid levels within muscle cells. When your potassium dips too low, it disrupts those fluid balances, triggering muscle cramps that can strike without warning. As we age, we tend to lose potassium more easily, especially if certain diuretics or medical conditions are at play. Paragraph 2. But let's cut to the chase, those agonizing cramps that leave you doubled over in bed. They often point to subpar potassium. If you're frequently jolted awake by a painful contraction in your calf, you may need more than just extra water. The culprit could be an electrolyte imbalance, and potassium is a prime candidate. Paragraph 3. Beyond cramps, low potassium can lead to a shaky or unsteady feeling in your legs. Picture yourself standing for a while at a social gathering, only to notice your legs trembling. That trembling can undermine your confidence in your stability. Worse, a deficiency in potassium can slow your reaction time if you slip on a rug, making you more vulnerable to falls. Paragraph 4. Professor Walter Willett, MD, DRPH of Harvard, T.H. Chan School of Public Health, 2019 interview on nutrient deficiencies, noted that ensuring ample potassium can help keep muscle and nerve function robust as you age. His emphasis suggests that balancing potassium intake is not just about preventing cramps. It's about maintaining the capacity to pivot and react, skills that diminish dangerously when we ignore the signs. Paragraph 5. Bananas usually spring to mind, and yes, they're a great source. But so are oranges, sweet potatoes, spinach, beans, and avocados. A single medium baked potato can surpass the potassium content of a typical banana. The recommended daily intake hovers around 3,400 mg for adult men and 2,600 mg for adult women. That might sound high, but a well-crafted daily menu with fruits and veggies can get you there without too much trouble. Paragraph 6. Of course, you should never rush into potassium supplements without medical guidance. Too much potassium can harm the heart, particularly if you have kidney issues. Always consult your physician if you suspect a deficiency or want to make major dietary changes. A simple blood test can confirm whether you're in a healthy range. Paragraph 7. When potassium levels drop, your body tries to compensate, but nerve conduction slows down. Imagine a glitch in your body's command center that tells your legs to move. If the signals arrive late, your foot might not lift as you expect, causing you to drag it. That's a surefire way to catch a toe on a step or sidewalk crack. It sounds minor, but small stumbles often cause the worst injuries in older adults. Paragraph 8. Consider Ms. R, a 67-year-old office manager who noticed frequent cramping in her calves after standing for long periods. She assumed it was just old age. After fainting once at work due to dehydration, her test revealed alarmingly low potassium. A strategic diet overhaul that added beans, leafy greens, and a daily glass of low-sodium tomato juice improved her symptoms in just a few weeks. Now, she rarely experiences cramps, and she carries out her office duties with renewed vigor. Paragraph 9. Another perk of adequate potassium is its interaction with sodium. They operate in tandem to balance fluids in the body. An excessive sodium intake can cause fluid retention and swelling in the lower legs, compounding your risk of circulatory issues. By keeping potassium at healthy levels, you help offset sodium's negative effects, thus preserving better leg circulation. Good circulation, in turn, ensures your muscles and nerves get the oxygen and nutrients they need. Paragraph 10. Finally, view potassium as an insurance policy for your entire lower body. From preventing nighttime cramps to bolstering bone integrity, yes, it has a role in bone health too. Potassium is a keystone nutrient. Don't underestimate the power of daily dietary inclusion. If you find yourself experiencing frequent muscle spasms or shaky legs, talk to your doctor. A few bananas or sweet potatoes each week can be a literal lifesaver, helping you dodge crippling injuries or even circulatory problems that increase the risk of stroke. Vitamin K, the calcium traffic controller, paragraph 1. When you think of vitamin K, you might only recall its role in blood clotting, but it also regulates where calcium goes in your body. Without adequate vitamin K, calcium can lodge in the wrong places, like your arteries rather than your bones. That misdirection can lead to hardened arteries, diminished circulation, and weaker bone structure. Paragraph 2. In older folks, the synergy of vitamins D, K, and the mineral calcium often goes overlooked. Research suggests that low vitamin K can undermine the beneficial effects of calcium and vitamin D on bone density. Dr. Sarah Booth of Tufts University, 2020 article in a nutrition journal explained that vitamin K helps anchor calcium into your bone matrix, reinforcing structural integrity and reducing fracture risk, especially in the hips and legs. Paragraph 3. That's not all. Vitamin K also appears to reduce inflammation in joint tissues. If your knees are stiff or your ankles swell after moderate activity, it may be partly due to deficits in K. Over time, chronic inflammation can degrade cartilage and accelerate osteoarthritis, a nagging condition that hampers movement. Adequate intake of vitamin K can mitigate some of that degeneration, allowing you to keep up with daily tasks. Paragraph 4. There are two primary forms, K1 found mostly in leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens, and K2 located in fermented foods such as natto, aged cheeses, and certain animal products. K2 has been studied for its more prolonged effect in channeling calcium away from soft tissues and into bones. Although both forms matter, K2 can be particularly potent if you're concerned about calcification in your arteries. Paragraph 5. If you're on blood-thinning medication, exercise, caution with vitamin K. Abruptly increasing your intake of vitamin K can reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners. That doesn't mean you should avoid leafy greens entirely, but consistency is crucial. Consult your physician or a dietitian to fine-tune your diet so that it aligns with your medical needs. Paragraph 6. The daily recommended intake for vitamin K isn't as high as that for some other nutrients. You can typically meet it with a daily serving of dark leafy greens. A cup of cooked spinach or kale can cover a large portion of your daily requirement. The fermented soybean dish natto is incredibly rich in K2, but it's not a favorite in many Western diets. If you're open to exploring global cuisines, it might be worth adding to your plate. Paragraph 7. A deficiency might not always present with overt symptoms. Some people only realize they're low in K when a bone density scan shows negative trends. Others may notice easy bruising or unusual bleeding, but by then you could already be suffering from weakened bones, meaning your legs aren't as sturdy as they should be. Paragraph 8. We should emphasize how vitamin K fosters smoother movement. Stronger bones and less joint stiffness mean you can navigate daily life with confidence, whether that's climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or playing with grandkids. It's not about turning you into a weightlifting champion. It's about preserving the mobility you already have. Paragraph 9. Sims Delgado, a 72-year-old with mild osteoarthritis, used to dread bending down to pick up items from the floor. After a nutritional consult highlighted her low intake of vitamin K, she began having a small bowl of fermented vegetables and a daily green smoothie. Over 3 months, her knee stiffness subsided noticeably, though she still experiences some discomfort. No vitamin is a magic bullet. She can now handle daily chores without a second thought. Paragraph 10. In summary, vitamin K is the unsung hero that ensures your bones are well mineralized and your joints aren't overwhelmed by excessive inflammation. Combined with adequate calcium and vitamin D, it helps form a triple defense against frailty. If you skip vitamin K, you risk letting calcium go astray, possibly stiffening your arteries instead of reinforcing your skeleton. That can pave the way for cardiovascular complications, reduced leg function, and a looming threat of falls. Ahermantinum E. Vitamin B6, fuel for muscle repair and coordination. Paragraph 1. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is pivotal for protein metabolism. Translation: it helps your body break down dietary protein into the building blocks for muscle repair and maintenance. If you want to preserve or even build leg muscle strength, B6 is part of the scaffolding. Paragraph 2. Nerve communication also relies on B6. When you're short on this nutrient, nerve signals can become erratic, leading to sensations like tingling or numbness in your feet and calves. Such glitches in nerve conduction intensify the risk of tripping because your feet might not recognize the ground properly. If you've ever had that fleeting feeling where you land a step awkwardly, you know how precarious it can be. Paragraph 3, chronic inflammation is yet another foe of healthy movement. By moderating the body's inflammatory responses, vitamin B6 makes it easier for muscles and joints to recover after exertion. Without enough B6, your muscles may remain in a low-level state of irritation, compounding soreness and slowing recovery times. This can be particularly punishing for older adults who are already dealing with degenerative changes in joints. Paragraph 4. Energy is the next piece of the puzzle. Vitamin B6 helps produce hemoglobin, the oxygen-carrying protein in red blood cells. Oxygen is fuel for muscles. Deprived of it, they weaken, cramp, and tire quickly. That's why a B6 deficiency can leave you feeling drained after what used to be a simple stroll around the block. Paragraph 5, you'll find vitamin B6 in a variety of foods. Chicken fish, particularly tuna and salmon, bananas, chickpeas, and potatoes. Fortified cereals can also help fill the gap. For those with absorption difficulties caused by GI disorders or certain medications, a supplement might be necessary. Dr. Robert Wolfe, 2020, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, highlights B6 as a prime candidate for ensuring optimal protein usage among older adults recovering from surgery or injury. Paragraph 6. One reason B6 flies under the radar is that many focus on its more famous cousin, B12. Yet B6 deserves your attention if you're keen on preserving leg strength and coordination. When combined with the other vitamins we've discussed, it forms a network of nutrients that collectively enhance neuromuscular performance. Paragraph 7, because B6 is water-soluble, the body doesn't store large amounts. That means you need a regular supply through diet or supplements. But be cautious, extremely high doses of supplemental B6 over a long period can lead to nerve damage. Always check with your physician to confirm you're in a healthy range, especially if you're considering high-dose supplementation. Paragraph 8, a real-world example. Mr. Clark, a 69-year-old retiree, struggled with mild neuropathy in his feet. His daily walks became a gamble because his numb soles couldn't sense uneven ground. Tests revealed borderline B6 levels. After incorporating more fish and potatoes into his meals and with a short-term B6 supplement, his sensation improved slightly enough to navigate sidewalks with more assurance. Paragraph 9. While B6 won't single-handedly transform your muscle power, it's a valuable ally in your toolkit. Combine it with consistent exercise, a balanced intake of protein, and the other crucial vitamins we've covered, and you have a multi-pronged approach to reinforcing leg strength. Think of B6 as part of the behind-the-scenes team ensuring everything runs smoothly. Paragraph 10. Ultimately, each vitamin we've explored works in concert. When one is missing, you may experience cramps, numbness, bone fragility, or decreased endurance. The solution isn't necessarily an avalanche of supplements, often a balanced diet featuring fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins will do the job. But if you suspect a deficiency, don't guess. Consult your physician, get your levels checked, and attack the root of the problem before it becomes irreversible. Dangerousseniors, the missing spark, amplifying fear factor and personal stories. We've covered the science, but let's drive home the bigger picture. Ignore these 7 nutrients for too long, and you face the sinister synergy of weak muscles, fragile bones, dulled reflexes, and poor circulation. This isn't just about minor aches. We're talking about the sort of collapse that breaks a hip, the slow circulatory decline that nudges you toward a stroke, or the inability to escape swiftly in a crisis, like dodging a reckless driver in a parking lot. Picture your future self. Do you see vibrant independence, or do you envision being cooped up, reliant on a walker, or a caregiver losing the freedom to make quick trips to the store or visit a neighbor? One slip can set off a domino effect, hospitalization, rehab, and a lingering sense of fear. That's the harsh reality many older adults endure, often because they didn't take these nutrient gaps seriously until too late. As a physician journalist, I've witnessed cases like a 62-year-old warehouse supervisor who collapsed on the job when a sudden muscle spasm caused him to trip. His spine absorbed the impact, leading to months of painful recovery. Testing showed that his diet was woefully inadequate in magnesium and potassium, a combination that guaranteed muscle fatigue. A simpler approach years earlier could have prevented the worst day of his life. 24-hour challenge and 7-day checklist. The 24-hour challenge. For one full-day, track every morsel you consume. Write down your foods and beverages, then honestly assess how much vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin B6 might be in that lineup. Do you see any glaring deficits? If so, pinpoint 1 or 2 immediate changes, like adding a cup of spinach to lunch or swapping standard snacks for a handful of almonds. This short experiment can be your wake-up call. The 7-day checklist. 1-day 1, schedule a physician appointment or at least arrange a blood test to gauge levels of these key nutrients. 2-day 2, incorporate 1 serving of dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, collards in at least 1 meal. 3-day 3, aim for a 15-minute outdoor walk when the sun is not at peak intensity, morning or late afternoon, to boost vitamin D. 4-day 4, add a lean protein source rich in B12 fish or lean meat or a B12 fortified product. Suffer Yurumi. 5-day 5, have at least 1 potassium-loaded meal, sweet potatoes, beans, or a simple baked potato. 6-day 6, invest in a modest magnesium-rich snack, such as pumpkin seeds or almonds, and enjoy them midday. So 7-day 7, reevaluate. Check in with how your body feels. Less cramping, more stable on your feet. Keep a short journal of any changes you notice in strength or energy. Call to comment prompt. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, "I feel it," if you relate, "I'm safe," if not, and add a question for the doctor. Action plan checklist. Follow-up meal targets. Now that you have your 24-hour challenge and 7-day checklist, let's detail how to move forward. Here's a condensed action plan. 1. Diet overhaul. Your protein. Ensure at least 1 solid protein source with each meal. If you're vegetarian or vegan, lean on beans, lentils, and soy products, preferably fortified to cover B12. Shirfoyi, greens and veggies. Every day incorporate at least 1 green vegetable. Spinach can deliver magnesium and vitamin K, while broccoli provides calcium. If you're not a fan of raw salads, try soups, stir-fries, or smoothies. Fontura fruits, bananas, oranges, and avocados for potassium. Berries for added antioxidants and general wellness. 2. Sunlight and supplementation. Sunlight. When weather permits, spend 15-20 minutes outdoors with exposed arms or legs. The sun helps your body manufacture vitamin D, but always be mindful of overexposure risks. Supplements. If blood tests confirm deficiencies, incorporate the recommended dosage. Don't self-prescribe high doses. Balance is key. Always consult your physician. 3. Exercise and follow-up. Weight-bearing activities. Walking, light jogging, or climbing stairs applies stress to bones, prompting them to rebuild and stay strong. Strength training. Gentle resistance exercises such as chair squats or elastic band workouts can boost leg muscles. Regular check-ins, schedule routine follow-ups with your healthcare provider to monitor nutrient levels. Adjust your plan if new deficiencies arise. Remember, none of these steps replace professional medical advice. If you have prescriptions or underlying conditions, always clear changes with your doctor. Conclusion, rapid-fire recap, engagement invitation, and open question. Here's the upshot. Everything we've discussed boils down to 3 lightning quick points. Nutrients, plus exercise, minus essential defense. Calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, and others keep your bones and muscles strong. But that stability thrives on consistent physical activity. Nerve connections matter. B12, B6, and potassium are crucial for swift neuromuscular signals, preventing slow reactions that can lead to falls. Early action is easier than rehab. Small steps like dietary tweaks and short outdoor walks can save you from the anguish of fractures or stroke. If you found this video script informative, be sure to hit like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with anyone you care about, especially those at higher risk of mobility challenges. Don't forget to drop a comment below using the prompt we shared. We're eager to read your experiences and questions. Open question. Which nutrient do you suspect has had the biggest impact on your leg strength? And why? Stay vigilant, remain proactive. And always remember, consult your physician before making any radical health changes. By prioritizing these 7 vitamins and minerals, you can fortify your legs and your future against avoidable disasters. The power is yours to seize.